Well, welcome back to the Beyond Resistance Pod, where we share hard-won insights to build blue power in red communities and start winning. I'm Sarah Schultz.
And I'm Jennifer Austin.
And Jennifer, what has you fired up today?
Okay, well, to be honest, I'm a little bit tired, so I don't feel super fired up at the moment. But what has me fired up is that we are going to Cricket Con in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And like, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to meet people and learn things and talk about our podcast and just do all the things. Like, I'm so excited about it. But what really has me like super excited about it is like it gets to be a girls' trip because it's you and me, and we ended up talking our friend Elena into
Yep.
going.
Yep.
She thought she couldn't before. We had invited her originally and our other friend Molly as well, but Molly's in, I don't know, like Patagonia or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Um,
Hey, Molly.
yes. Living her best retired life with, vacations and spending time with her kids and grandkids. But anyway, um, Elena realized she didn't have to work those
Yeah.
couple of days, so she decided to go with us, and we're
Yep.
super excited that we
I
get to
know.
do that.
It's a big road trip, which is exciting. It's our third or fourth road trip. We've been out to Colorado. We've been
Hmm.
over to New York City. We've been up to
Hmm.
Milwaukee on just various reasons and road trips. And now we get to go to DC. So that's
Yeah.
a good reason to be fired up for sure. I am fired up about CricketCon too. And also like it's actually not the thing I'm fired up about. It's like literally just going and being in DC and like
Yeah.
all of that stuff. I'm excited for CrookedCon, of course, but like that's kind of beside the point. It's just like it's like the means to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also fired up about that. I'm deep into like planning for packing, but haven't started packing even though we leave in just like a day or two. Um,
Yeah.
and there's that part of it. But I'm also fired up because our friend Griffin just posted in our group chat that Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, former House Speaker, first female Speaker of the House for the country, has announced her retirement. So
Hmm.
that's big news
Yes.
in our space. So I'm fired up about that because I'm actually just like happy for her.
Hmm.
She's leaving she still can be celebrated. I think a lot of times it seems like folks just stay and then they leave in a space where they're either not liked
Hmm.
anymore or they're not healthy
Einstein.
enough. Yeah, exactly. Or they're like have been, there for like literally probably too
Hmm.
long and have been making questionable decisions or having questionable like attendance and like,
Hmm.
so I'm excited that that Nancy Pelosi gets to leave and still, be able to be celebrated, no matter what you think about as a Democrat, like no matter what we think about, like, the challenges of the current Democratic leadership and all of that, you can't ignore her legacy. And
Hmm.
so I'm glad that she is making this decision for herself. Yeah.
I um I have so much respect for her, and I think she was a good leader of the Democrats in the House for many, many years. I think maybe she should have left a little sooner, but then again, I'm trying to think like how all the chips fell when she decided that she wasn't, she was going to step away from leadership.
Right, right.
Um, I think at that time like I think she should have not run again, but I can't remember exactly how the chips fell. Like
Yeah, I
maybe
don't remember
whatever,
either.
like I'm not going to
Yeah,
nitpick that.
yeah.
But the entire time that she was a leader, I felt she was a good leader.
Yeah.
I've expressed many times like that I think that there are just so many people that in positions of leadership that stay too long. And it's not just an age thing. I mean,
Right.
sometimes, like you can be older and do a really good job, and that's great. But I think, go enjoy your retirement. Do what my friend Molly does and go spend time
Yeah,
with your
go to
grandkids.
Patagonia.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like but those types of people are A, reluctant to give up power, and B, most of them, I think, went into it with this purpose of doing good work. And so they always feel like I'm not done yet. There's so much more I need to do, so they're recalcitrant of handing the gavel over to somebody else, or,
Yeah.
or handing the position over to somebody else.
Yeah. But I think anytime we've got somebody who's spent decades in a role and is willing to step down, I mean, she would get elected again and again,
She
likely.
would.
And so willing to step down and pave the way for a different
Hmm.
generation to come on in is something to be excited about and get fired up
Hmm.
about. And I think that I would like to see more of that going on.
Yeah.
Um, and it's exciting. And I have a quick Nancy Pelosi story while we're on the subject, and also connected to your fired up because this actually takes place in Washington, D.C. I'll try to be brief. So years ago, like way before I was even involved in politics at all, just kind of like watching from the side. So I was, knew the big power players like Nancy Pelosi and others, but I was not involved at all. I was on a work trip to Washington, D.C. That was not politically, motivated, just happened to be
Hmm.
there. And a colleague of mine and I went to try to get a tour of the Capitol building. We didn't plan anything out in advance. So we walked in the Capitol building and we saw these lines and people and chaos. And we only had like 45 minutes. And we're like, oh no. So we were just like standing there in the middle of all the chaos, I think just looking like sad or something. And this security guard came over to us and he was a very like jovial kind of person. You could tell he'd been in the job for a very long time, and he's like, can I help you ladies? And we're just like, oh, never mind, like we're not going to get to see the Capitol, we only have 45 minutes, and like look at that line. And he's like, you know
Uh-huh.
what, I'm about to go on my lunch break. And so this guy literally just like, I don't know why, just like took me and my friend, like we didn't have to go into the line at all. We just followed the security guard, past all the lines, and he just like gave us a personal tour of the
Oh,
Capitol.
wow.
And it was just like, it was so cool because he was taking us into all these places and like, showing us these things that, that were not necessarily like regular folks could be at. And we were in this back staircase and we were going up this back staircase, and these three people were coming down this back staircase. And my friend leans over and goes, "That's Nancy Pelosi." And I was like, and I stopped her and I'm like, I don't even know what stupid thing I said to her in that staircase. And she was very nice and she had like some staffers with her. And then she kept going down and we kept going up, and we got to see the rest of the Capitol. And then he took us out like this back door that was like, he's like, this is the door that the president goes out after the State of the Union. I don't even know. Like,
Oh,
okay, so
huh.
that's how we like left. So we didn't have to go like back through everything. We
Uh-huh.
just like left out this secret back door and went on with our day. So
Very
I
cool.
shared a staircase with Nancy Pelosi. I don't know, like 12 years ago probably. And so maybe when we're in DC that later on this week we'll have a similar experience. So yeah.
Maybe. I talked to Kristen McDonald Rivet's office. So I talked to her
Mhm.
chief of staff, Shane, and I talked to Diva, who is one of her staffers, both friends of ours. Um, and Shane's like, it's a fly out day, so a lot of people are going to be gone. And then Diva's like, we're not even supposed to give tours because of the shutdown. So we can go
Oh,
visit Kristen's office. I don't know. We'll see what's going to
okay.
happen.
We'll
Like
see what
maybe
we
things
can
will
do.
change by then. But
Yeah, sometimes life just happens. So we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see what we
bummer, but
get.
that's all right.
The fun part is we get there and we actually just have a day to just
Yeah.
like be loose around in the
Hmm.
city. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of
Hmm.
mischief we can get into. Um
As long as we get
awesome.
to Elena to some plants, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
She just needs to see plants of some kind.
Yeah, we'll go to the National Botanical Garden, I'm sure, at some point. And probably bring a bunch of plants home with us. Oh
Y'all think we're
goodness.
joking, but we are not.
No, we are not joking. Like it'll be cuttings, it'll be fine.
Hmm.
All right. So on top today is kind of it's a big date today, right? It is exactly 1 year until the 2026 elections. Tomorrow is election day in the United States. We don't actually have any
Yeah.
elections. Nothing is going on in our community, but we're sure as heck watching. There's a bunch of
And
elections across the country tomorrow.
and all of you listening, you won't hear this until Wednesday, so that'll be the 5th, and we'll actually be on the road to DC by that time. But, we're recording on the 3rd,
Recording
so that's why
on
we're
the
talking
third, which
about
is
it.
1 year. Yeah, which is 1 year. And so what we thought would be kind of cool to do. So if you've been listening along, we've been kind of walking through our blueprint, which we launched a couple of weeks ago, our 5 steps to building blue power. We're getting a ton of really great feedback on this blueprint. We're hoping to talk a lot about it when we go to DC. And we've been walking through each of those 5 steps, but because this is that 1 year out from the election, today we thought it would be nice to draw your attention to the last page of the Blue Book, which, by the way, can be found at our website, which is beyondresistancepod.com.
Hmm.
Um, and that very last page, we really tried to provide a lot of very technical and very tangible tools in our blueprint. And that last page is actually offers up a timeline for folks to use if they're just getting started and what should they be doing
Hmm.
under each of those 5 items. So we kind of break it down by each of our 5 steps. We break it down by quarter and we say basically if you have a year, so if you're looking at right now, and looking a year from now is the election cycle. That is 1 year. If you wanted to start at this timeline right now and start doing some of
Hmm.
these things, then you could follow along by quarter, build that blue power in your communities straight on through to election day and see what kind of big change that you can make.
Yeah, and that's why we worked really hard to get this out by October 14th. We would have loved to have gotten it out sooner, but hey, we have jobs and lives and all this stuff. So we worked really hard to get it out as soon as we could so that people would have the time to look at it and start thinking and planning and use it over the next year. In fact, I'm making little mini books of
Ooh,
of
that
our
looks so
our blueprint
good.
for us to take to
That's the
Washington with
timeline.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
so and I just went and picked them up before we got on here. So I haven't cut them and laminated them yet. But anyway, so yeah, you can get that from our website and you probably couldn't tell from that picture, but it really is very detailed with quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and then the 5 different um kind of
Steps.
areas that
Yep.
are part of our steps. Um, there's different things you can do in each one.
Yeah. So if you've been thinking about downloading the blueprints because you've been hearing us talk about it for the last couple of weeks, today's the day, right?
Hmm.
Download the blueprint because you can get started today with quarter one, and it'll just take you right on through to the election
Hmm.
next year, which is, it's the most important election of our lifetimes. And we say that every election, and it's like
Because
true
right now
every
it is.
time. Yeah. It's like it's not hyperbole. It feels like hyperbole every time. It's like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
this one is the most important election of our lives, but like it is. They all
Yeah,
have been. Like,
and we would love for them to no longer be the most important elections of our time, but they're
no
going to
doubt.
be for a while. I was listening to a podcast, big surprise there. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been the Lincoln Project. I don't listen to it very often, but a friend of ours sent me a link to a particular one that was about the tearing down of the East Wing.
Yeah.
Um, I can't, maybe that person said, no, I think it was David Plouffe on the Jen Psaki one. Anyway, both of them basically were saying like, we are not getting out of this anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like even in 2026, if we get the House of Representatives. We're not out of it. Even if we got the House of Representatives and the Senate, I mean, we're still not out of it. 2028, when we hopefully elect a new Democratic president. Hell, I don't care. I'd take an independent at this point. The party doesn't matter that much to me at this point, as long as they're on board
Yeah.
with some of the things that we care about. But anyway, even if we get a new president who isn't a MAGA crazy person, there will have been so much damage done that
Mhm.
that's like, I guess that's another fired up I have, is this idea that we really need to get people to understand how long term this is.
Yeah.
We need to change our government, build it back up, make people's lives better. Like, there's just so much we have to do, and that's why this
Yeah.
blue power is so important.
Yeah. I mean, let alone like pass laws to make it harder or impossible for what's happening right now to happen
Mm-hmm.
again. Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be so much more work that needs to happen. And like this whole thing, like when I'm feeling like unsettled, it's because I'm realizing just how vulnerable our system of government is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like a lot of the ways that it has operated these last 250 years have been based on tradition and based on, the assumption that people are going to act in the best interest of,
Yes.
the country. And we don't have laws that are ironclad to prohibit what's going on from happening. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to have to do a lot of work to fix that as well.
Yes.
And just like how fast it all happened. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
what, nine
Hasn't
months,
even been a
10
year.
months into
Yeah.
this, and we're, oh my gosh, just to undo the damage that Elon Musk did
Yeah.
in the little bit of time that he and his, gaggle of 20 somethings were doing that work or doing that destructive work, like that's going to be a long time to try to recover from. And that's just one example
Mm-hmm.
of all of that. And you're right, like it's this, like our theory of change is that we need to do bottom up work, right? We
Mm-hmm.
need to do the like local organizing, local convening, local just building power, that we can't rely on top down anymore. And
No.
so that's why this is also very critical, because we're not like done when the election is over with, but the elections
Mm-hmm.
will, determine the trajectory of everything for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, the whole, there's no such thing as an off year. And I have, once again, talked to somebody and I said, like, I was looking forward to Kamala Harris winning and having, a little bit of a break. And whoever this was it might have been Kevin Hayes. I don't remember, like a political person. And they were like, no such thing as off years. I'm like, wasn't looking for an off year.
I was just
I
looking
was
for a
still going to do
minute.
the work. I just wanted to breathe for a second. But yeah, like there's no off years, and it doesn't mean that you have to be so ingrained in this work and so just mired in it that you don't take a break. Right now that's kind of the way we are, but
Mhm.
this is a little bit of a different circumstance. um but yeah, you can, that's kind of the point, is like starting small, starting with building your group and building your presence and doing things, um and doing that over the course of time. And even if you start doing this, we are not promising that you're going to win 2026 elections.
Mhm.
We didn't win the first
That's right.
elections that we really started
Yep.
working on hard.
Yep. Yep.
So, but it's a matter of building that. And then also to talk about the national level, I'm to the point, and I hear a lot of pundits kind of say this too. I am so sick of hearing who's going to be the leader of the Democratic Party, who's going to be the person, who's going to be the whatever,
Mhm.
who's going to set the whatever. I'll tell you who. I'm gonna, and you're
Mhm.
gonna, and everybody around us is gonna,
Yeah.
because we cannot wait for a savior to figure it
Yeah.
out for us. And I don't care who you pick to be that national leader or who the other national leaders are. Um, the brand of the Democratic Party is bad enough right now that no national leader is going to change that down in the community level.
Yep.
That's got to
Yep.
be me talking to my neighbor and you
That's right.
talking to your neighbor. It's
Yep.
it's just not going to change with some pie in the sky national person. It's you and
For sure.
me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's literally why we're here and why we're sharing the stuff that we've been sharing, because that is what we did. Like that is what we did, person by person, meeting by meeting, living room by living room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having those conversations, convincing folks to, you know, to do something that they've never done before, and understand why, and that's kind of what we're here for. So
Yeah.
so looking at the blueprint, right? So looking at the blueprint, looking at the timeline, which is the end of the blueprint, it's on like what, page 7? Page
Yes.
7. So it's like a 7-page thing, this blueprint. It's not, I don't, we wanted it to be real digestible. We didn't want it to be, you download a thing and it's 50 pages and super dense
Yeah.
and oh my God. We wanted
And
this to be a real tool.
and we could have crammed things into fewer pages, but from my experience, having white space makes things
Mm-hmm.
easier to read and it helps to engage your attention more. It just makes it easier. Now I say white space, but actually it's blue space
Blue
because
space.
everything's blue because it's a blueprint. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, like so it we really we have been writing. I'm sorry, I've got like the sun in my face right now. I forgot about the time change because we
Oh,
are
that'll do it.
technically
Yeah,
podcasting at a different time.
that's right. That's right. That's funny.
Um, so
So we try to make it real easy to read, real
yes.
approachable, not super long. It's got to be both tactical and also, mindset and inspirational.
Hmm.
Those are
And
the
we want it to be
the levers
fun
we're
too.
pulling. Yeah. Yeah. And we're getting some good feedback. But let's just take a quick peek at that timeline. And I thought we could, so it's as Jennifer showed on her screen, it looks like a grid or like a table. It's got the 5 areas, the 5 steps on one side. It's got quarters across the top. We've already dug into a bit the first 2 steps, but just to give you a sense of like if you were to, not know what to do and you were to download this thing today, you would notice that, we'll kind of go into each of these steps and you would notice that like for each one on the timeline, there's something that is real possible, totally reachable, very tangible that you
Hmm.
could do for each one. So if you downloaded this today, you would say, so one of the areas is around building transformational relationships. What should I be doing starting from now? And you can look and see what we would suggest is that you start to hold one-on-one meetings with political leaders. I'm telling you, if you reach out to them and ask them to coffee, they will meet you for coffee.
Yeah.
And then just talk with them about shared community values and concerns, right? So like starting to build those relationships with people in the community that really are grounded in the areas and the topics and the area and the things that folks are concerned about.
Hmm. Yeah, and then like we call them potential leaders. Sarah said political, which is very apt. Like that's
Yeah,
often who it is. But as we talked about in the navigating power structures, it doesn't always mean that the person you
that's right.
might want to talk to is really a political person. So yeah, just in that's in the navigating power structures, you're going to figure out who are these people. Do a power mapping session to figure out
Mhm.
who is the power people in your community.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about before when we were talking about this step around being really intentional. Like that you can just sit down and literally write out who are the sort of power holders in the community and will they meet you for coffee? And if you don't know
Hmm.
them, who knows them? And if you don't know them, well, then who knows them?
Yeah.
And how do you just like map yourself to having those conversations? How do you put yourself in the space where you can run into them in a really natural way? It might be a fundraiser or another type of community event. Um, and then and if you don't know who those power kind of brokers are in the community, start talking to people and asking
Yeah.
them, and you'll start to know who those folks are. And those things, right? That's step 1 and 2. Like there's 3 more steps that we kind of go through in the blueprint, but you can see like there are real approachable ways to really get
Hmm.
started in this
And
work.
And this is really set up in a way that if you already have a group, whether it's an indivisible group, a woman's group, a Democratic Party, or whatever your group is, that's like, we have to do something. We have to, make some changes in our community. You can use this if you are an existing group. You can also use this to completely build a group.
Hmm.
It's kind of like you're thinking to yourself, we need this in this community. And we've heard this before, but I'm the only one that's literally on the front
Yeah.
page of our blueprint.
Yeah.
As people have said that, we said that, we
Yeah.
said that.
We heard it and we
Um,
still hear it from people across
yes,
lots of
yes.
areas in our state and beyond that people think that they're literally the only
hmm
person.
Sometimes
Yeah.
in Midland, I hear that, and I'm like, you do know our city voted for Kamala Harris, right?
Right.
They
Right.
did. Well, why would you not look to see what the results were? I think most people just look at what the end result was, not
Yeah.
what their city does.
Yeah.
And we political creatures just, look
Look
at
at
every
all of it.
detail. But you could start with, you and your best friend, and your best friend knows three other people, and they know two other people. Like, you just build it. It's almost like a secret society at first. You
Yeah.
can really just form that, and it's like we meet once a week or once a month in my living room, whatever, and
Yep.
just start kind of planning it out.
Start from there. Yep. And use the blueprint to guide some of that stuff. Add in your own ideas. If you add in ideas that really, really work, we want to know about them. We actually have
Yes.
a community board on our website that we want to hear about everything else that's going on so
Mhm.
we can all learn from each other in this work.
Yeah,
Yep.
we for sure want to add to that message board. And the other thing we're in the works of, I don't want to say it's out there yet, but we're working on a Patreon. We're not really going to be offering any real free stuff at this point because we're just getting started. And like our a lot of people offer ad-free podcasts. Well, they're already ad-free. So when we start getting ads, then we can offer that on the Patreon. But we are going to have a Discord group that
Yep.
you can join with a paid membership, and we're hoping to really build that into a community of organizers nationwide where we can share ideas and help each other out. We're going to do a Facebook group too. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that because you can't connect it to the Patreon, but anyway, we'll do a Facebook group for paid subscribers too. But yeah, so there's going to be opportunities for us all to connect, and we want to hear the things that you
Yeah.
are doing or the things that you think of doing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're building out some of that infrastructure to help carry our message and our learnings beyond our spaces, and that costs some money. And right now, this is all
hmm
self-funded, and
Yeah.
we in order to continue to like proliferate that message, we just need to create some vehicles and avenues for that. So
hmm
be looking out for that. Um, and Jennifer, my kind of icebreaker sort of fun question for the end. Are you ready for it?
Oh boy, okay.
I want to know, so we're going to Washington, D.C. I want to know, because I'm obsessed right now about this, what uh what which of your politically centered t-shirts are you planning to bring with you?
I haven't planned my clothes yet. Well, because Friday we'll be wearing, or no, Thursday and Friday we'll be wearing our Beyond Resistance
That's
t-shirts.
true. That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe my democracy is dying, but hey, cool fireworks. I'll need a couple. We've got 2 driving days.
Right, right.
Um, oh, maybe my resist one that we got at the Bernie rally because it's so
Oh,
pretty.
the one with the flowers and the resist
Yes.
on it. Yeah,
Yes, I love
yeah.
that one.
We have to have reasons to wear our resistance wardrobe because it is extensive.
Yeah,
For
because my
sure.
husband is like, "Oh, you got another t-shirt. That's nice."
I know. I know. Actually, I have like a stack of t-shirts in my bedroom because like they won't all fit in the drawer.
Yeah.
And then I have like legacy t-shirts like from other like I have a women's march t-shirts and things
hmm
like that that I don't really wear, but I can't get rid of
You get
them.
rid of them.
They're
No,
part of all of it. Yeah.
I'll probably like the quilt that I was supposed to make of my daughter's sports t-shirts that are sitting in a tub down in the basement. I'm saving mine as well.
There you go. There you go. That would be a fun quilt. Yeah, so I was thinking about my resist shirt. I was also thinking about my row shirt,
Oh yeah.
which says row 1973 on it. Uh, which is interesting because when I bought it, I didn't think we would have cause to continue to
Yeah.
wear it, but I do, we do. So yeah, that's what I'm
Plus, we
thinking
have so
about
much
right
work to
now.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, anything else on your mind?
Not at the moment. I'm just excited. I can't wait to share just get out there and talk to people and show
Yeah.
them our little flip books of the
Yeah.
blueprint and hand out our stickers
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Yeah.
we even got little matching fanny packs so that we could put our stickers in and like little lanyards to put the flip book on. We're gonna be total nerds and we're
Yeah.
gonna have so much fun.
It's gonna be so much fun. And also like true radicals. We're like skirting the line of what's like
Oh
we're
yeah.
supposed to do because like you're not supposed to hand out things except for business cards, but we don't have business cards. Instead, we have stickers.
Yes.
And then we are not handing out the blueprint, but we're gonna have these like this like flip book that's made of the
Yep.
blueprint that will essentially wear as a necklace on
Yes,
lanyards.
with
So
the QR code. So if people want to go to our website, they
yes,
can.
yes,
We
yes.
thought of
So
everything.
yeah, we're definitely going to be ready for this experience. All right, well, that's all for the Beyond Resistance pod today. Thank you for joining. And just a reminder, we're Beyond Resistance, where we share hard-won insights to build blue power in red communities and start winning. And you can check us out and find our blueprint for building blue power at www. Uh, beyondresistancepod.com, right?
.com. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll try to post stuff from Crooked Con, but honestly, we might be so busy and yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to to
We'll
post
see.
on our
Yeah.
socials. So we'll see.
We'll see. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. And 1 year from the election. So get ready and get working.
Yeah, it's time to
All
get
right.
busy. Let's go.
All right.